Congratulations. This is an exciting day for you, your family, and loved ones, and for us too. My two favorite times of the year are welcoming our new students in August and congratulating our graduates in May. Well, this has been a year unlike any other, right? Who would have imagined last March, when we left for spring break, that our lives would change so dramatically? Over the year, we've lost people close to us, cared for those who were ill or been sick ourselves. Finances have been strained, jobs lost, families kept apart. Often, I know classes and schoolwork were not your main priority and had to take a back seat to the other demands in your life. But still, you persevered. You found ways to do what needed to be done, sometimes with great sacrifice. And today, you should celebrate your success. You've accomplished a great deal in unprecedented circumstances. You've worked hard to get to this day, but now it's time to put your skills and knowledge to work. You're scientists and researchers, communicators, psychologists, and policymakers. You will help shape the future of the world. You will help address the inequities and injustices of the world. You will help advance our understanding of the physical and natural world. Well, that's a lot riding on your shoulders, right? No pressure there. But I'm reminded of a podcast that I listened to this year about a struggling high school football team. Now, I don't remember the podcast or where the team was located or even why they were struggling. But what I do remember is the phrase the coach would use as the team huddled before a game or after a practice. As the team numbers came in together, he would say, "Everybody touch somebody." Now, in a year in which physical touch became a source of anxiety and huddling together closely was not safe or feasible, I want you to remember that those touches don't have to be physical. Never underestimate the role that you can play in the world by your daily interactions with others, the daily touches with other people. You don't have to win a Nobel Prize or cure cancer to make a difference. You make a difference every day in the decisions that you make, the way you treat people, and the choices that you have. You've shown that you're resilient. You've shown that you care about others. You've shown that you value knowledge. And I have great confidence and faith that the things you learned here at Illinois Tech, the things you learned in and out of the classroom, will be put to great use. So I have one more podcast story. One of my favorites is Freakonomics. At the end of every episode, the host, Stephen Dubner, says, "Take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too." I think it's a great message for life. If we've learned anything this year, it's the importance of caring for ourselves, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Only then can we reach out and touch someone else. I finished both my undergraduate and graduate degrees off cycle and didn't participate in the ceremonies for either. I've never really regretted those decisions, and since then I sat through many graduation ceremonies at different institutions. And I will say there are some boring parts. One of the advantages of this virtual ceremony is you can just fast forward talks like this and get to the part where someone says your name. But through the ceremony, through the time of the ceremony, you can start to feel the tension build as we get to that final announcement that you are now graduates of the university. It's a great moment, and I'm sorry that you'll be missing some of that excitement. I hope you can, though, responsibly celebrate your achievement, throw your cap into the air, and know that we are all celebrating with you. So again, congratulations and best wishes.
I'm Matt Bauer, Chair of the Humanities Department. Whether you are receiving a bachelor's or a PhD today, our faculty members are very proud to have worked with you and helped ready you for a world that very much needs your talents, energies, skills, and ideas. While this is an official goodbye from the place and people that have been your home and community for the past several years, we hope that you share the feeling of your faculty that there is now a common and lasting bond among us. You have now joined the fraternity and sorority of scholars stretching back hundreds of years in time. We encourage you to stay in touch with your faculty in the department and with one another. We are sure you will be proud and interested to learn where your separate lives have taken each of you and we at Illinois Tech will follow the future accomplishments of you, our alumni, with great pride. We are certain that one day soon you will be outstanding in your field. Congratulations.
Friends, family, honored graduates, I'd like to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Illinois Tech of 2021. This is a time of challenge, and we've all had to make changes to our lives. Unfortunately, as I look back upon my life, I found that these times of challenges haven't been unique. There have been a number of these events throughout my life that have forced me to re-examine, reevaluate, and actually change how I operate. There's been, obviously, this pandemic has been difficult on all of us. But there was also the economic crash of 2008. There were the horrific events of 9/11. There was the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989. In the early 1980s, there was the destruction of U.S. heavy industry, which actually started off here in Chicago with the events of Wisconsin Steel that led to thousands losing their livelihoods. There was the oil embargo of 1973. These events tend to happen every 10 years. This will not be the last challenging event that you face in your lives, and you have clearly demonstrated that you know how to handle and adjust and, more importantly, adapt to these challenging events. Experience is often the best teacher. It's one of the things I greatly like and appreciate about Illinois Tech. Our experiential learning system is designed to give you the tools to handle all of these events. Experience teaches you that you can survive every single disruptive event that you will face for the remainder of your life. The Illinois Tech education has prepared you to handle these future shocks, and more importantly, it has prepared you to lead through these events going forward. The world is also in a profound time of change. The world is not the same that it was when you started at Illinois Tech. It's not the same world that I started with at Illinois Tech. Some of these changes can be very scary to people, while to other people, these changes might not appear to be fast enough. But the world is always changing. As you go forward with your newfound education, I really urge you to continue to make the world a better place. Your education makes you well suited to lead the changes that are occurring. If you look back, our Department of Social Sciences has changed dramatically through the time that you've been here. And all of you who are graduating in 2021 are responsible for making the department a better place now than when you first arrived on campus. As this was my first year as the chair of this department, I appreciate that all of you took time out of your busy schedules to help me to learn the department. The suggestions that you offered are being incorporated into the future plans for the department. You have embraced many of the new initiatives that have been implemented, and your participation in all of these events and initiatives was instrumental to their success. In addition to that, as many of you have worked throughout your education, you have also volunteered in the community. And your work in the community has increased the visibility of our department, both locally and nationally. And I want to thank all of you soon-to-be graduates for all of your efforts in this regard. Your successes at Illinois Tech have been tempered by the pandemic. This quasi-virtual celebration that we have here has really not offered you the full opportunity to celebrate your academic achievements as other classes have in the past. Unfortunately, the majority of your successes in life will occur the same way. Rarely does Michael Strahan and the cast of Good Morning America come calling. Confetti rarely falls out of the sky to celebrate your accomplishments. You need to develop the drive and ability to celebrate success on your own. The years of 2020 and 2021 have certainly forced us to develop unique skills on our own. And your class has been the first one to survive a full year of the pandemic. You have developed unique skills that have allowed you to change on the fly the entire education system. And that has been hard in courses that rely on communication. I want to thank you for working hard with the faculty to make this possible through this challenging time. And I want to remind you that Illinois Tech is not a four-and-done type of institution. We want you to continue to come back and share your successes with us throughout your entire career. We want to be there in the future to help all of you achieve your hopes and dreams. We want to see you continue on and have great success in your careers. And when you face trials, as we all know you will in the future, we'll be here to talk you through it. We'll be here to communicate, to help you evaluate options, give advice when wanted, or just listen when you have challenges. You stood with our community through some of the most challenging times that we have faced. And the Illinois Tech community will always be here for you in the future. Honored graduates of the class of 2021, put your knowledge and talents to great use. I have the utmost confidence in your abilities. Be bold, be striking, be loud. Make the world a better place. So to friends, family, Dean Himes, Provost Kilpatrick, and the Illinois Tech Board of Trustees, I present to you the 2021 graduates of the Department of Social Sciences.
Liza Maishanyova is a great student and a very special person, whom I've been fortunate to know as her advisor and teacher over the years. She has taken and excelled in every class that I teach, and were it not for the COVID-19 pass-fail term of spring 2020, would have had an even higher GPA than the superb one she graduates with today. A member of the Zeta Phi chapter of Alpha Sigma Alpha sorority, Liza is grateful for getting the opportunity to grow among the wonderful people she met and got to know there. And she wanted me to tell you how thankful she is to her parents and family. You have been absolutely amazing in your support of Liza's academic career, and she wants you to know that she would not have made it this far without you. We ask our graduates to let us know what they'd like us to say at this ceremony, and I'd like to share with you some of what Liza said, more or less verbatim. It's nice to finally be graduating. I've been at IIT for 3 years now, working towards my BS in communication. I have really enjoyed my time here, perhaps even more than I expected when I first set foot on campus. Having picked this university mostly for its location, I was pleasantly surprised to find that not only was Illinois Tech located in a vibrant, lively city, but the student population attending it was equally wonderful. Having lived in rural areas for most of my life, it was nice to experience things like concerts and downtown restaurants. However, none of those things were comparable to how lucky I felt getting to meet all of my friends on this campus. Granted, the university did feel a bit small sometimes, But in the end, that just meant that we got to be closer to one another on a daily basis. I know social distancing threw a wrench into all of our lives over the past year, but it made me realize how lucky we were to have our years together on campus, running into the people that would turn out to be our lifelong friends, and getting to know one another before we graduated. I feel very fortunate to have gotten this experience in life and to have gotten the chance to learn from it. I now feel comfortable moving on from my academic years, knowing that even if I move to a whole other city, I'll still keep the friends I've come to cherish over these years and be able to reach for new things with confidence. In the future, I hope to pursue career, family, personal, and life goals to the best of my abilities, to reach the top of my field someday, to feel fulfilled in both career and personal life, and most importantly, to share time with my family. Lisa, I have enjoyed our time together as advisee and advisor, as student and teacher, and now I look forward to our future as friends. Congratulations.
I'm Matt Bauer, and I'm the chair of the Humanities Department. On behalf of the faculty in the department, I'd like to congratulate Muhammad Khannan on completing his degree in digital humanities. Muhammad took several courses with Professor Kate Ramsden, and she wrote a letter stating she is humbled and honored to be a part of Muhammad's graduation. She writes that, as a student, Muhammad impressed me as an intellectual who took his education seriously. Muhammad has been blessed with an abundance of good qualities, has made significant sacrifices in order to care for others, and is a deeply thoughtful person and a natural leader. She sums up, I don't need to wish Muhammad success and joy in his future because he will create it himself and share it with others. Congratulations, Muhammad. Good luck to you.
Lucas Proffen is a wonderful student, scholar, and human being. I first met him in 2015 when he attended a student fair prior to his enrollment at Illinois Tech. I am very glad he took my class on modern Latin American history, both because I got to know him better and because he contributed so much to the class. He has several outstanding qualities that contributed to his academic achievements at Illinois Tech, as I'm sure they will do in his future career and actually in his graduate studies. I particularly appreciate the depth and breadth of his historical knowledge, as well as his scientific, cultural, political knowledge of theories and developments. He has a very analytical mind, which stood him in good stead when he conducted research in my class and will do so in his future endeavors. He chose to work on a primary source document, which is a requirement for the class, and his choice was on the Monroe Doctrine. His essay on the Monroe Doctrine was so good that I used it as a model for students the very next time I taught the class. Lucas combines his analytical abilities with intellectual openness and curiosity, qualities that I believe are essential to anyone who wants to explore new areas, question established thinking, and introduce new perspectives. In addition to his scholastic skills, Lucas is a very affable and nice person. He got along with everyone in the class, and I'm sure he gets along with almost everyone in the world. This speaks to the respect he has for other people and other ideas, and his ability to work well with others, which the numerous activities he has been involved with at Illinois Tech, ranging from the debate team to the International Student Organization, attest to. In addition, he was awarded the prestigious summer internship at Oak Ridge National Laboratory in Tennessee, not once, but twice. My only regret is that Lucas did not take more classes with me, since it was such a pleasure to have him in class. My only request is that you stay in touch with me after you graduate, because hearing about your future triumphs will make me very happy. So, my best wishes to you and congratulations.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Al-Marzouki and I am a professor of communication at the Humanities department with the Lewis College of Science and Letters. It is my immense pleasure to have the chance to share a few words about one of the best students I've had the chance to teach and learn from while at IIT. I refer, of course, to Digital Humanities major, Alexandra Mazzucchelli. Congratulations, Alex. I came to know Alexandra in 2 courses I taught in the fall semester of 2020, a time when the country was battling the worst of the pandemic. In the face of the tough challenges the pandemic posed on our students, Alexandra rose to the occasion and showed great dedication, diligence, and deftness. Her work was always motivated by a deep sense of justice and a critical capacity to think against the grain, to question accepted dogmas, and to strive for excellence. During the course of the semester, Alexandra developed analytical, critical, communication, and writing skills that are essential qualities of leadership and innovative thinking in the 21st century. As a student of digital writing, for example, Alexandra attended and covered national advocacy events on pressing issues like housing segregation and social justice. She reported on the economic impact of the pandemic on graduating college students, and she grappled with the role of right-wing media in recent elections and with the origins of political polarization in the United States. As a student of media and globalization, Alexandra researched the impact of global competition among economic giants like China and the United States on small and emerging African countries like South Sudan. She also explored the links between decades of neoliberal economics, the nascent rise of populism or populist movements, and the proliferation of conspiracy theories and fake news on digital platforms. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a supple mind that thrives on nuance and open-mindedness, Alexandra is simply brilliant. So I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Alexandra once again on such an outstanding achievement. Congratulations, Alexandra. Well done and well deserved.
It is my great honor to speak on behalf of Takera Askew on her graduation. Takera has been my student in, I think 5 courses, and I was lucky enough to be her academic advisor for a couple of years as well. So I've gotten to know her pretty well as a student and as a person, and it has been overwhelmingly positive experience. So this is, as many people often say at graduation, but quite true in this case, a bittersweet moment. Sweet and overwhelmingly sweet because Takera is a wonderful student and a wonderful person, and she has laid the foundation in her time at Illinois Tech to go on to do great things. Bitter is too strong a word, just quite simply. I'm going to miss her, and I think Illinois Tech will miss her too. When I think of Takera, I think of love of learning. I think of an impressive work ethic. I think of great resilience in the face of many challenges, perseverance, enthusiasm, humanism, friendliness, and kindness. With her major in global studies and a minor in information technology and management, and those wonderful personal qualities that she brought with her to Illinois Tech, we can't really take much credit for those, she's on the path to an impressive career of public service. In the time I've known Takera, I've watched her overcome adversity, take advantage of the many opportunities afforded to her by being at Illinois Tech and being in the Chicago community. She has pursued intellectual and professional enrichment in ways that, and with an energy and enthusiasm that few students do. She's served her university and community in a variety of ways, often in leadership positions, and she's carved her own path for making her studies meaningful to her. Just a couple of examples. For example, her major, global studies, requires something called the international experience, which in reality, truth be told, she could have satisfied by her work as a global ambassador for the education abroad network, or with her proficiency in Spanish language. Nevertheless, on her own initiative, Takera arranged a semester abroad at Korea University. She found the program that best met her interest. She worked closely with me to choose appropriate courses and get them approved for transfer credit, and earned an impressive GPA while immersing herself in a new culture and society and gaining proficiency in the Korean language. I was also her instructor of record for her required internship, something that's required for her degree program as well. She did her internship with a small, relatively new company, with the somewhat odd name of Peanut Butter. Now, finding and completing any internship, and this was done, by the way, last summer during our first COVID summer, for lack of a better term, would have been a challenge to anyone. But the Takera's situation made it, I think, especially challenging. She had complex family responsibilities that had her moving among 3 different locations in different parts of the country. And I have to tell you that on more than one occasion, our online sessions to discuss her internship progress were carried out with a toddler squirming on her lap. Nevertheless, Takera maintained her focus on the task at hand while taking good care of her nephew. Just an indication of the kind of person she is and what she was dealing with, and still managed to be successful professionally and academically, and being a tremendous help to her family during a time of need. All of the work that Takera did for this internship, she did online. And for the internship, she brought an impressive skill set and mastered several skills related to research and writing, database management, and client relations. Doubtless her minor in ITM helped a great deal, but I also believe that the things she learned in her social sciences classes were also a great help to her. So here too, I should also mention that her major did not require a minor, but she chose ITM, and she chose wisely with her career goals in mind. This helped her in her internship. It also bears mention, while I turn the page here, that her site supervisor, who was also the company president, could be, well, I'll put it kindly, demanding and somewhat insensitive with his regular employees and his interns. But Takera persevered, and she actually earned the praise of her boss for her performance. I think he may not have told her directly, but he certainly told me how impressed and satisfied he was with her work. Now, the internship itself was not an obvious choice for a global studies student. There's a company that found a niche market for consulting with other companies about a benefits package that would include support for new employees in paying off their outstanding student loans. Takera took to this work because of its importance and because of the social justice aspect of this work, and she drew some really interesting and important lessons from it. She had ways that racial and economic inequality affected the potential pool of companies' clientele and employees, and the vicissitudes of paying for higher education, and the often unequal burden displaced on low-income students, how it affected their employment opportunities. And she really, from the global perspective, I think took away an important lesson in global capitalism, how such governance failures, such as allowing deserving students to run up huge debt burdens just to get the higher education that they needed and they deserved, created business opportunities. So she wrote an interesting paper sharing some of those insights as part of her internship requirements. Finally, certainly I could speak at greater length about her academic skills, achievements, and accomplishments, but I would just also like to add that Takera is an absolutely delightful person and an enthusiastic woman. She managed to work through adversity and come out of it still cheerful and optimistic. She's an excellent teammate. I've watched her work on group projects in my classes and be a leader in those, both by example and as a sometimes quiet but effective contributor as well. Also in my classroom, I've witnessed her reaching out and offering a welcoming and supportive hand to new students, to visiting international students. Takera was someone they could always turn to, and in fact, they didn't have to wait and seek her out and turn to her. She was there with an offer of help and friendship and guidance to new students. At the time that I'm recording this message, I'm very pleased to have learned quite recently that Takera received a letter of acceptance for her application to the George Washington University Masters of Arts program in Security Policy Studies. I will admit I was a little surprised when she told me that she was applying to graduate programs in security studies. It's not something that she learned directly from me, clearly an interest that she had and that she developed while at Illinois Tech. And it's a field that really needs Takera. It needs her humanism, it needs her compassion, her communication skills, her diplomatic and her leadership skills, and her concerns for social justice. So congratulations on that, Takera. And I would not be surprised that by the time you are all viewing this video, that she's received a few more offers from prestigious graduate programs, and will have the enviable problem of having to choose among them. So I'll just sum up by saying, congratulations, Takera. I will miss you. Illinois Tech will miss you. And I look forward to hearing about how things progress for you in graduate school and then in your professional career. So stay in touch and keep smiling. Thanks for everything. Thanks for being my student.
Dear Maraki, hello. It is with profound joy, immense pride that I address you today. And of course, I address your family, for they share very much in your joy, in your success. I salute you. I congratulate you on your success. And this is just the first of many to come. I know of no better way to express the kind of joy and the kind of pride that I feel today. And in fact, also to thank you for having invited me to address you today. Then to turn to the ebullient and full-throated, verses of two of the greatest, perhaps, American poets, two of the greatest of American bards, Langston Hughes and Walt Whitman. With Hughes, I urge you to hold fast to dreams. For if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. So take Langston Hughes' advice and hold fast to your dreams. And with Walt Whitman, in my view, the single greatest of American bards, I wish to impress upon you, I wish to urge you, to show you, I wish to impress upon you that there is no endowment in man or woman that is not tallied in you. There is no virtue, no beauty in man or woman, but as good is in you. No pluck, no endurance in others, but as good is in you. No pleasure waiting for others, but an equal pleasure waits for you. Whoever you are, Maraki, right? Claim your own at any hazard. These shows of the East and West are tame compared to you. These immense meadows, these interminable rivers, you are immense and interminable as they. These furies, elements, storms, motions of nature, throes of apparent dissolution, you are he or she who is a master or mistress over them. Master or mistress in your own right over nature, elements, pain, passion, dissolution. The hoppos fall from your ankles, Madaki. You find an unfailing sufficiency. So, in closing, be well, my dear Maraki. Work hard. As Langston Hughes would have it, hold fast to your dreams and never forget that you, Maraki, you are the mistress of your own, in your own right, over nature, elements, pain, passion, dissolution, and I would add for my part, life itself. So, again, I salute you. I wish you continued success, and we'll hopefully talk very soon. Bye.